Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, you're highly welcome. So I'm going to show you how I went from this to this full glam glitter shadows. So I'm going in with Pierce for my moisturizer, and I let him sit in first, dry up before I go in with my Pond's oil primer. I applied it all over my face, and I start with a clean face too. Let me not forget to point that out. I started with a clean face. I put the primer all over my face since I have very oily skin. For my foundation, I'm going in with the V Beauty foundation. Apply using a sponge, a damp beauty sponge, and I dab this all over my face. But I avoid under my eyes since I'm going to go in with the concealer later. Guys, please take your time to blend. Makeup is about blending. Blend. So for my concealer, I'm going in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn, and apply it under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead too. So I still go in with that damn beauty sponge. I turn like the flat side to blend out my concealer, and I start with my forehead before I go under my eyes. I waited for the under eyes to set in a little bit so that it will get tacky, so I have coverage on that area. That's why I let it sit in first. So for my contour, I'm going in with this Beacham Ageless foundation in the shade Mocha. Yeah, I think in the shade Mocha. And I apply it to create shadow on my face. You know, I have very big cheek. So for my blush, I'm using this Flawless Ivy lip palette as my blush, using that particular shade. And guys, you can never go wrong with blush. So for my nose contour, I go in with the Flawless foundation. This one is one shade darker than my skin tone. I didn't want my nose contour to be too dark. That's why I went in with this one and not used the other. The other one was too dark. So I blend it in using my beauty sponge so that to soften that harshness, you know. That harshness, you just create shadow, not make the face look. So to set all the places I conceal, I'm going in with the Flawless Ivy, that powder, to set all over the places I conceal. So now I'm using a spoolie to comb out my brow. Then I use my good old Davis No. 3 eye pencil to fill in my brows. Draw the outline first. And guys, please, if you're a beginner, go to a beautician to shape out your brows for you. It will be really easier. For the top of the brows, I draw a headlight stroke, like headlight trance. Then I go in with that same LA Girl Pro Concealer with a flat brush to highlight my brows. So after all that, I still go in that LA Girl Pro Concealer as my eyeshadow base. You know, you use this so that your shadow will pop up a little more. And I apply. Okay, I'm starting with this to set my nose contour. I want to set in my nose contour before I go to the eyes proper. So for the eye, I'm going in with that orange shade first, and I put powder underneath my eye so that to catch all the fallout from the eyeshadow. So I go in with that orange. That's my first color. That's my transition color anyways. Then I'll go in with that brown. So I'm using that brown to create depth on the outer eyes. I'm going to build it up because I didn't want to go in with a black shadow because black shadow are a little bit difficult to blend out. Then I go in with that brown, another shade of brown. I'm building the shadow up, guys. I go in, I blend, and I hope you remember, like, blending is our friend. You have to blend. So I'm going in with that one for my eyelid. I apply it so that it will give that glitter a base first. So I will call this the base for my glitter. I'm using this gold shimmer since my glitter is gold too. So I go in with that second color to blend everything in so that the blend will be seamless. So I'm using that my lash glue as my glitter glue as my so that I'll put on my glitter, but there are glitter glues if you have, you could use, but since I didn't have this, what I had, so I have to use this one. I let it get really tacky, then I use my hands to take my glitter and press on my eyes. You have to be patient in this process too, but it takes a little bit of time. Then I line my eyes. And lining the eyes when you have already applied glitter is a little bit difficult, so take your time like I said before. So I'm now setting my contour, all the places I contour, all the places I use liquid contour or foundation for. I set it with the powder now. Then I set my blush too. I use that orange blush from that same palette, that same shadow I use on my eyes. That's what I use to set my blush. So to dust out the powders under my eyes, I go in with my skin tone, like the powder of my skin tone, and use a swiping motion, to dust it out, then set the rest of my face. Then I pop on my lashes. Press it in. I press the lashes, the false plus my real lash together. Then I go in with that same black gel to line my waterline. So I'm now going with this concealer palette, that shade, to line my lips. I don't like using this palette to conceal because there is no coverage and it's really oily, and I have oily face already, so that's one thing I bought that I'm regretting. So I now use this Tara lip gloss, then set it with my Kiss Beauty setting spray. Guys, bat your face with that thingy to remove all the oily effects. So guys, this is the final look. Hope you learned something from today's video. Hope you try on this glitter look too, especially on night out, like your eyes will pop out. Until the next video, bye guys.